Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Commute English Learning Pro. Today, we have a really great deep dive for you. We are looking at a very helpful guide today.
Yes, we are. It is a great one.
Right. It is called Foundations of Fluency. It is a guide for English learners, and our mission today is very simple. We want to find the real daily habits that actually help you speak English well.
Yeah, because, a lot of people try to learn a new language and they follow a very sad pattern.
Oh, I know this pattern.
Right. You decide to learn English, so
Yeah.
you download like 5 different phone apps on a Sunday.
Yeah, and you buy 3 heavy books.
Exactly. You study very hard for 3 hours, and then, well, by Wednesday, you stop. You just quit.
It is so true. We treat learning a language like a fast race. We throw everything at our brain all at once.
But that is exactly why people fail. Because if you do not know where you are going, running fast just makes you lost.
You get lost much faster.
Right. If you are lost in a big, dark forest, running shoes do not help you. You need a compass. You need a clear direction.
And finding that direction is what we are doing today. We want to cut through all the noise. There is so much bad advice out there.
There really is. And the first big rule in this guide is about words. When you first start learning, you have to be very careful about what words you learn.
Yeah, you have to ignore a lot of things.
You do. As adults, we want to sound smart. We want to talk about big ideas or art or our deep feelings.
Right, because we do that in our native language.
Exactly. So when we start a new language, it feels very bad. It feels frustrating to sound like a small child.
We hate it. We want to use big words.
But the guide says you must master simple, high-frequency words first. Words you use every single day.
Like basic verbs.
Yes. Verbs like go, eat, want, need, and like. Learning these simple words is not a choice. You have to do it.
So even if I want to debate big ideas, I have to stop. I have to focus on saying, I want water.
Yes, exactly that. Those simple words are like the bricks of a house.
Oh, I like that.
If you know 10 simple verbs very well, you can make hundreds of basic sentences. You build the walls of the house first. You do not worry about pretty windows yet.
Right, you need the gray bricks first. But it is like cooking, too.
How so?
Well, when you learn to cook, you do not start with rare, strange spices. You start by learning how to use salt and pepper.
That is a perfect way to think about it. Those basic verbs are the salt and pepper of English.
Okay, so we learn the simple words, but the guide goes a step further, right? It talks about how we learn them.
Yes. It says you should not just learn single words. You need to learn full phrases.
Wait, what does that mean? Full phrases.
So instead of just learning the word go, you learn the phrase go home or go to work. You learn the words together as one piece.
Oh, okay. So I memorized the whole group of words.
Right. Because your brain has a limit. Your memory can only hold a few new things at one time.
Like maybe 4 or 5 things.
Yeah, exactly. So imagine you want to say, I go to the store. If you learn single words, your brain works very hard.
Because it has to find each word.
Yes. It finds go. That is 1. It finds 2. That is 2. It finds the I. That is 3. It finds store. That is 4 things your brain has to hold.
That sounds really tiring.
It is very tiring. And you have to think about grammar, too. This is why beginners speak so slowly. Their brain is working too hard.
But if I learn the phrase...
Yes, if you go to the store as one big chunk, your brain treats it as one thing. It is just one memory.
Oh, wow. So it takes up less space in my head.
Exactly. You do not think about grammar. You just pull out the whole phrase and say it. It lets you speak much faster, and you sound very natural.
So we have our simple words, and we put them in full phrases. That is our foundation. But how do we practice this?
Well, the guide talks about a balance between listening and speaking.
Right. Input and output. And I have to say, the listening part of this guide is a little weird to me.
You mean the listening blind?
Yeah, listening blind. The guide says you should listen to simple English every single day, even if you do not understand anything.
That is right.
But hold on. If I listen to a language and I do not know the words, it is just noise. It sounds like a waste of time. Why should I listen if I do not understand?
I know, it sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Because we think listening means understanding. But before your brain can understand a word, it has to physically hear the sound.
What do you mean? We all hear sounds.
Well, every language has its own special sounds. It has its own rhythm and music. As a baby, you can hear every sound of the world.
Okay.
But as you grow up, your brain stops hearing sounds that are not in your native language. It just filters them out as background noise.
Oh, wow. So my brain actually ignores new sounds.
Yes. So when you practice listening blind, You are not learning words. You are teaching your ears to wake up.
You are learning the music of the language.
Exactly. You are learning the rhythm. You are learning where one word ends and the next word starts.
It is like walking into a very dark room.
Yes.
At first, you do not see anything, but you wait. You let your eyes adjust to the dark. You just start to see the basic shapes of the furniture.
That is a beautiful way to say it. And this listening helps you speak better later. You will sound more natural because you know the music.
Okay, that makes sense now. But let us talk about the speaking part. The guide is very clear about this. It says, speak early.
Speak very early. Yes,
Keep it simple. Start with short sentences like, I am tired, or I want coffee. Do not wait until you feel ready.
Right. But people hate doing this.
Yeah, because we are adults. We are scared of looking silly. We do not want to make a mistake in front of other people.
We really do not. We want to hide in our room with a book until our English is perfect.
But the guide says this fear is bad.
The fear of mistakes is the biggest problem for learners. In school, a mistake is a bad thing. You get a bad grade.
Right, a big red mark on your paper.
But learning a language is not like a math test. It is a physical skill. And for physical skills, a mistake is how you learn.
Oh, so being wrong is actually required.
Yes. If you do not speak, you do not learn. Imagine learning to ride a bicycle. You can read 100 books about bicycles.
But you still cannot ride one.
Exactly. You have to get on the bike. You have to fall down a few times. Speaking early is like falling off the bike.
And when you say a bad sentence and someone looks confused, your brain notices.
Right. Your brain says, oh, that did not work. Let us fix it. That mistake puts the correct word deep into your memory.
So we just have to be brave. We have to be okay with sounding like a beginner for a few months.
You really do.
But how exactly do we practice speaking? The guide talks about repetition, repeating the same sentence over and over.
Yes, saying things like, I like this, I like this, I like this, many times.
And doing it out loud, right, not just in your head. But why? It feels a little silly to sit in my room and talk to myself.
Because speaking is physical. It is a sport for your mouth.
A sport for your mouth.
Yeah, your tongue, your lips, your jaw.
Ah.
They're all muscles. When you speak English, you ask your mouth muscles to move in new ways they have never moved before.
Oh, so it is like doing physical therapy for my face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And every time you say a phrase out loud, you build a strong path in your brain.
Like walking on grass. If you walk on it enough, it makes a clear dirt path.
That is it. If you say a phrase out loud 10 times, you are paving a strong road in your brain. The signal moves faster, and soon you do not even have to think. The words just come out of your mouth.
Wow. So feeling fluent, speaking smoothly, it is not just about knowing big words. It is about building strong physical paths in the brain.
Yes, fluency is physical.
That changes how I see it, but wow, this sounds like it takes a lot of time, and everyone is so busy these days.
That is the best part of this guide. It says you do not need long hours.
Really?
Really. It says to practice for just 10 to 20 minutes a day. That is it.
Wait, just 10 minutes, not 3 hours.
No, 10 to 20 minutes every single day is much better than studying for 3 hours on Sunday.
But why? 3 hours sounds like more work.
It is about how your brain rests. When you study for 3 hours, your brain gets too tired. It stops learning. But the real magic happens when you sleep.
Sleep? What does sleep do?
When you sleep, your brain is very busy. It takes what you learned that day and it saves it in your deep memory.
Oh, wow.
So if you practice 20 minutes a day for 7 days, you get 7 nights of sleep. You save the memory 7 times.
That is amazing.
But if you only study on Sunday, you only get 1 night of sleep to save all that big information. You lose most of it.
This is exactly like physical exercise again.
It really is.
If I take a fast 15-minute walk every day, my heart gets very strong. But if I sit on the sofa all week and then try to run a massive marathon on Sunday...
You're not going to get strong. You're going to get hurt.
Right. I will pull a muscle and I will never run again.
And in language learning, pulling a muscle means you get tired and you quit. 20 minutes a day is easy. You do not get tired.
So we practice every day. But the guide says we should not just sit at a desk. We need to mix the language into our normal life.
Yes. This is a big point. It is called mental narration.
Mental narration. So talking in your head.
Right. Thinking in English while you do boring, everyday things.
Give me an example.
So when you are drinking a glass of water, you think in your head, I drink water. Or when you walk outside, you think, I walk to work.
You just name the things you were doing.
Exactly. Because when you read a book at a desk, it is just your eyes. It is not real life. But when you hold a cold glass of water and you taste it and you think, I drink water, Your brain connects the English words to the real physical world.
Oh, I see. It shows your brain that English is real. It is not just a school test.
Yes, it becomes tool for real life.
But as we try to do all this, there is a big warning in the guide.
Yes, about the tools we use.
Right. The guide says keep your learning tools very simple. Choose one book or maybe one app and just use that. Ignore everything else.
Yes, less is more.
But we live in a world with thousands of cool apps. There are games and videos and AI tutors. Why should we limit ourselves to just one simple tool?
Because of decisions. Making choices makes you tired.
Oh,
Yes. Imagine you sit down for your 10 minutes of practice, but you have 5 apps and 3 books. You think, should I play the flashcard game? Or should I read the story?
oh, it is like watching TV at night.
How so?
The classic TV scroll. You spend 20 minutes looking at all the movies, you try to pick the best one, and by the time you pick a movie, you are too tired to watch it. You just fall asleep.
Exactly. Deciding takes away your energy. If you only have one book, there is no choice. You sit down, you open the book, and you learn.
That makes a lot of sense. And if you use many apps, do you get stuck?
You do, because every app teaches the basics first. If you keep changing apps, you will just learn hello and goodbye 100 times. You never move forward.
So the app is just a car. Jumping into a new shiny car does not help you drive down the road faster. It just keeps you in the parking lot.
That is a great way to put it, yes. Stick to one car and drive.
So when we look at this whole guide, it is actually very humble. The steps are very small. Picking one boring book, talking to yourself when you drink water, repeating simple words, it does not feel like big magical learning.
No, it does not. It feels slow.
But the power is in doing it every day, the consistency.
Exactly. Language learning is not about being super smart. It is about being patient. Small habits build big fluency over time.
Okay, let us summarize this deep dive for everyone. First, pick a direction. Do not just rush. Second, learn simple, high-frequency words and learn them as full phrases.
Right. Third, listen to the music of the language and speak early. Let yourself make mistakes.
Fourth, sleep is your friend. Practice for just 10 to 20 minutes a day to save the memory. And finally, keep your tools simple. Just one app or book.
And yet, these rules work for any big skill. Learning the guitar, learning to cook. Small daily habits work for everything.
It is a great way to learn without getting too tired. But before we go, I want to leave you with one thought. A thought about that mental narration.
The thinking in your head.
Yeah.
Walking around saying, I drink water,
Right.
or open the door. As adults, we live our days very fast. We do not pay attention. We run on autopilot.
We do. We forget to look at the world.
Right. So if you force yourself to use simple English to name your actions, does it make you pay attention again? Does using simple words make your normal, boring day feel completely new?
Oh, I love that. It really makes you see your own life again. You have to notice what you're doing.
Something to think about next time you pour a cup of coffee and look out the window.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this deep dive. We hope this gives you a good compass. Go out there and make some great mistakes today. See you next time.